Ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our conjunction video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering our conjunction of Sun, Venus, Mars, and Rahu. And what happens when Sun, Venus, Mars, and Rahu are conjunct in your horoscope. And for those who are wondering, well, you forgot Sun, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Sun, Venus, Jupiter, or Sun, Venus, Mars, Saturn. Well, actually, I've made those before. And I've made one of those videos of Sun, Venus, Mercury, Mars, like literally 4 months ago when I made a mistake of this chronological order. So I've already made those videos. So we're just going to continue on to the next one. So that's what we're going to cover today. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this conjunction, where it's placed, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details, including my books, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, my consultation, and all my books. So let's get started with our conjunction video. So first of all, if we, let's say, wanted to sum up this conjunction for a person, what this will show is, number one, this person can be a great artist, especially like a photographer, filmmaker, designer. Number two, you can have a hot-headed spouse. Not just a hot-headed wife, hot-headed spouse. Because Venus is the significator of a spouse. And now it's conjunct 3 malefic planets, especially planets which are hot in nature. And remember, Rahu has this nature like Mercury. If it's with a hot planet, it's going to become hot. If it's with a cold planet, it's going to become cold. Like with Saturn, it becomes cold. With Sun and Mars, it becomes hot. The Pitta is there. In Sun, actually, Sun and Mars are very fiery planets. Sun represents authorities, government, father. Everything which requires like this fire-like energy. Like, you know, when your boss walks in, some authoritative figure walks in, everybody's like, oh man, like your attention is on this person. Why? Because that's where the light is. That's where the fire is. Fire is pretty much a metaphor for light. And Venus, like I said, represents spouse, arts, media, creativity, music, poetry. Then you have Mars, technology, engineers, brothers, male friends, you know, fighters, blacksmiths, manufacturers. And then you have Rahu, foreign energy, unorthodox energy, going against the social norm. Rahu is photography, illusion, magicians. And I mean, Rahu represents like a whole lot of things. Rahu is pretty much all the technology that you see. Like if you didn't have Rahu, Mars would simply a blacksmith. But Rahu made Mars into a computer engineer. Made Mars into a IT professional, software engineer. So you have these planetary conjunction. So obviously, the spouse is going to be very authoritative in your life. Whoever you marry, whoever you end up with, they just have this ability to stomp on things. Like, this is my way, and it's my way only. Otherwise, hit the highway. Like you will notice, there's not even a negotiation that comes in. And this is your karma that you have brought in from past life. Perhaps you dominated, physically abused other people. So now you will find that in your life. Obviously, though, with the sign placement, it'll make a whole lot of difference. In Libra, you will have a spouse who's like a true leader, who's very diplomat, whose ability to compromise excels as a leader. If it's in Aries, well, it's either their way or the highway. And this obviously shows that your friends that you run into are very charming. Friends like male friends, brothers, very charming, authoritative, technical, very, very competitive people. And you yourself are a very competitive individual. For you, your passion is to compete. Your passion is to defeat the other person. Your passion is to be victorious. Like there could also be obsession towards victories. These people definitely enjoy non-veg food if this occurs in a second house in a fire sign. Because remember, meat is one of those things that you cannot eat raw. Especially as a human, you have to put it in fire to eat. So whenever they're in the fire signs, a person will eat meat. And I mean, you can even take Sattvic signs. I have seen Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Aries is a Rajasic sign, but Leo and Sagittarius are Sattvic signs. And I've seen people, non-veg people. Just in my own spouse's family, I mean, they have one of them have this conjunction, and they eat beef, they eat, all kinds of meats that you can think of. They actually go hunting because they're in Midwest. So, but that's one of the things. People think that fire is very pure, fire is very sattvic. Yes, it is. But you got to also understand some common sense here as well. A non-veg person needs fire to be able to eat and chew that meat. Education-wise, if let's say this conjunction occurs, in your 5th house, or 5th from your Karakamsha Lagna, Swamsa Lagna, this person can be a performing artist, creative person, photographer, filmmaker. It's so funny. Somebody actually commented on my Rahu Ketu Untold Truth video that I uploaded with all the mega gathering, that I have Sun in the 5th house. What do you think from Karakamsha? I'm like, you could be a mathematician, you could be a, going to social or like economics and social sciences. But then he's like, I have Rahu and Mars there too. I'm like, well, you didn't tell me that. Rahu, Mars with the Sun in the 5th house from Karakamsha obviously will show a technical person. And Rahu, like I said, represents programming, technology, photography. So those are the angles that are seen. And most definitely, one of the things that you will notice is that this person is very strongly attracted to being married early. They want to get married early. And they love a fiery person. Even though you see that this person gets dominated by their spouse, they kind of actually like that. They're somehow attracted to that type of a light. But one thing I would recommend, if you have Venus less than 6 degrees from the Sun, definitely take your time before you marry. Even if it's an arranged marriage, get to know a person. Know who they are, know their background, know them inside out. Sure, they're authoritative, but you don't want that authoritativeness to be extreme, because you yourself are extreme. You yourself are just as fiery as the other person. And if you got 2 fire coming together, boom, what does it do? One's not going to cancel the other. 2 fire equals bigger fire. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Sun, Venus, Mars, Rahu conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your conjunction is placed, all my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.